Hey there, throtl family. I just wanted to take a second real quick and let you guys know that if you aren't already following throtl on Instagram, you should go do so. We are constantly doing cool giveaways. Right now, we're giving away on August 30th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this cool vlogger setup. It's got everything you need to start your own vlog. And we're giving it away, like I said, to one of our lucky followers on Instagram. So if you don't already follow us, go check us out at throtl, T-H-R-O-T-L on Instagram. 3 p.m. on the 30th Pacific Standard Time, we'll give it away to one of our lucky followers. All right, boys, so fast forward, we already went ahead and started tackling the engine harness. As I noted earlier, we are getting a new engine harness from Rywire, which is gonna eliminate a lot of unnecessary stuff. If you know 13Bs, you know that a lot of the rat's nest and things like that under the intake manifold get deleted. We are doing that, so that means there's a lot of extra connectors and plugs. Mostly these items here, a lot of this stuff was no longer used in the engine, so as you can see, this is the harness where it passes through the firewall and seals. Then this goes to the ECU, which is there, and plugs in 2 of those 4 spots there. The other 2 go underneath the dashboard and run stuff on the dash. So we've gone ahead and pulled out this harness. This harness is in very good condition as it was replaced. It was replaced when the previous owner had the car because the old one was crispy and broken. It's really common for these engine harnesses because they do sit on top of the engine underneath the intake manifold to become very brittle and have wires break and corrode inside the actual loom itself. The previous owner was good enough to shell out the 900 or 1,000 bucks to buy a new one. I've gone ahead and removed it, and I'm probably going to end up selling it. Which leads me to something else. I should probably explain to you guys that this project is self-funded. We are using some of the revenue from our YouTube channel to help pay for some of the parts for this car, but I am coming out of pocket for the majority of the expenses and parts that are going on this car. So I know you guys are used to watching budgetless builds on YouTube where guys are just throwing thousands and thousands of dollars into their cars. I don't have that kind of money, so I'm actually removing a lot of parts from the car, and in turn I'm selling those parts in order to be able to afford to buy the parts that I need to replace. So bear with me, things are rolling in slowly. I just showed you guys a bunch of stuff that has already come in. Thankfully, we've had some great sponsors come on board with the project, and they've made it a lot easier on me to actually build this thing beyond what I had originally planned when we first got the car. So thank you to all of our supporters, our sponsors. If anybody out there wants to participate in the car and help with the build, we're more than happy to hear it out. You can DM me on my Instagram if you have any ideas or parts that you want to help with. But anyway, that's that, and I'm going to get onto the car now. We're going to go ahead and move the heater box and blower motor. Now it is still in here, and it is covered in filth. Just absolute filth. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all these 10mm nuts, undo this wiring here, here, and here, and these guys, and we should be able to just pull this out. We need to get that stuff out anyway because the carpet actually lays underneath here, and it's very hard to pull out with those boxes in place. So we're going to go ahead and take those out now. Alright, so the camera stopped recording there towards the end, and we actually got all the carpet out. As you can see, it came out, but not without leaving behind all of the foam and wool crap that they use for sound deadening and to keep things from squeaking and whatnot. So this stuff's all gonna have to get ripped out. As you can see, there's not much left to it. It's pretty disgusting, and to be honest, this is actually what creates a lot of the odor inside cars. When this stuff gets wet, and doesn't get dried properly, it mildews and it holds the smell inside this and this foam stuff up here. All that stuff's got to get cleaned out, because if not, I'll never get the old crusty smell out of this car from it sitting outside for a few years with the windows down. So my original plan for this car, as you guys know, was to just get it on the road and enjoy it for a while. I'm sort of glad that that engine was no good and we're actually going through now and doing all this, because I wouldn't have been happy. You guys can't smell this car, but it does have a little bit of an odor to it. And by pulling the carpet out, I can smell that odor even more as we were moving the carpet around and rustling it up. So I know for a fact that removing that carpet is going to help a ton to clean up the odor inside the car. Here's the old carpet. Here's the new carpet. As you can see, guys, right here in the front left corner, there's a lot of material. And as you can see, the front left corner of the factory carpet has all been cut out. There's a lot of holes to cut. But I think all in all, we're going to be in much better shape with this new carpet in the car. So the carpet kit came with extra padding to go underneath. Train and airplane and helicopter all at the same time. Are you kidding me? Anyway, as I was saying, this carpet, it's going to take some effort to put it in, but it's going to, one, change the color of the interior over for us really well, and two, it's going to eliminate any odors that were left inside the car from it sitting outside for many years of the year with the windows down. I'm not excited about the work that has to happen now, but I am excited about what the outcome is going to be. So we're going to go ahead and get prepared to start trimming up this carpet and see how it goes in. So this stuff actually comes out really easy, but it just sucks and it's super dirty. Let's go over here and check out what my old man's up to. Alright, so he's using the air gun. Sorry about the headphone users, probably just blew up your shit. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and keep back to the interior while he finishes that up. If you hear the air, that's what's happening outside. He's blowing all that stuff off. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down and get it cleaned up to get it put back in. Alright, so I got all the old foam and carpet padding out. And as you can see, I've found an old, looks like a penny here. It's been sitting here for a long time underneath this carpet. And if you can't tell if your carpet ever got wet or not, if you ever find coins underneath the carpet, it makes it really easy to tell if it actually has been wet, because it's all corroded from sitting in the wet carpet until it dried. Yep, this carpet's been wet. Now that that's all out, we can go ahead and grab our trusty vacuum and start cleaning the floor pans. Alright, so my dad cleaned up the air boxes. They look really good. Definitely a million times better than they were. Actually kind of shiny now. He removed all of the foam tape that seals these edges against the vents, the dash vents and the front vents. We're going to go ahead and get new foam to seal those. And so they'll pretty much look like this when they're redone. But this foam was already so beat up that it wasn't worth trying to save. I'm going to go ahead and finish removing this crap that's still on the floor. You can see that side cleaned up really well, and this is what it looked like before. So just running the vacuum and running my hand over it is really cleaning it up a lot. We do need to remake those pieces that we removed. This is the stuff that came with the carpet kit, and it's a similar type material. This is one of the old pieces that goes over the tunnel, and we were able to salvage this one without tearing it up. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and traced it onto a new piece of this stuff, and we'll go ahead and cut it out with scissors or this. Cut it out and we can reapply that into the car. So that will help keep the carpet from sagging and give it a little bit of softness against the metal chassis. Another thing that we need to do is, especially the driver's side, there is holes basically where your heels go, here and here on either side of this chassis support rail that ties into the seat rail. If you don't have something in here, your heels sit lower than this chassis support, and it's right underneath the pedals. So it's quite inconvenient actually to have that. And the solution that the factory had was to put foam in there. As you can see on the back of the carpet, there's a thick foam insert basically underneath the bottom of it, and that's where you can see where the frames, the chassis support rod or beam goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that from the carpet by releasing it from this this black rubber material. So we'll just cut a line around it and we'll remove that and put that back in the floor pan. That way that when we put our carpet back in, our carpet's going to sit right over top of that foam padding just like stock. So we're working on a few things at once here. Also working on getting the new throttle cable installed, which is ready to go. Working on getting the old one pulled out at the moment as well. So sort of jumping around, tackling a few things at once here, but it's really dry content, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it. These are all the little things that that make the car turn out really good when it's all said and done. Anyway, let's check out my dad, see what he's up to. What are you doing, Pop?
Cleaning up this release mechanism for the hood.
What are you doing over it? What do you got there? Oh, that's how you get stuff done.
That's liquid.
So he's cleaning up the hood release. As we started working on getting that hood cable out, we realized that pretty much everything we touch needs to be touched up and cleaned. I can't really bring myself to just leave it alone. So started pulling the cable out, noticed that the latch was really dirty and disgusting, so he's cleaning that up in the meantime while I'm working on this other stuff. And he got an early start with the beers. I'm gonna probably have to join him here. All right, so the backing is now cut out and it matches the original. We've also added the square shapes that they had underneath for additional padding in those 4 areas. We do not have any spray adhesive in the shop at the moment, so I'm gonna have to get that tonight and bring it with me tomorrow. We're gonna go ahead and actually get the rest of this cleaned up and removed, and we'll actually spray adhesive this and relay that in. A lot of you are probably asking, Mick, why don't you just throw some Dynamat in there? And the answer to that is one, we're not removing the actual sound deadening material that was on the chassis from the factory, and 2, quite frankly, I don't have the dough to get all the Dynamat that it takes to coat the whole floor and all that. So this stuff came with the carpet kit. We're going to reuse it. It was good enough for OEM, so it's good enough for us. We don't plan to want to drown out any of those braps anyway, so I want to hear all the engine sounds. So it's about an hour later. Went ahead and got the old carpeting cut out, and you can't really see it because I've already put the heater core and whatnot in here, but we've reused the rubber backing to fill in those gaps in the floor panel, as I showed you guys earlier, so that there's no low spots in the floor panel. So when you have your feet on the carpet, it has something to rest on, not in those holes. So we're basically pretty much ready to use the old carpet as a template. We'll lay this carpet over top of the new carpet, get all those holes cut out, and we can actually go ahead and throw the carpet back in. However, I am gonna wait. I'm gonna put some speakers and an amp in this car, so I'm gonna wanna run some wiring and stuff before we go ahead and put the carpet in. So I don't have that yet. I'm gonna pick that up, and we'll make another video out of that. But essentially what I'm getting at is I'm done for the day. Got a lot done today. We did replace the cable for the hood release, which is there. Went ahead and cleaned up the hood release and got everything rerouted. So a lot of little bits were done today, nothing major, but these are all little things that add up in the end. So happy with the way things have gone. We've also got our rear carpet padding that needs to get buttoned up, but this is ready to go. and be glued back into the tunnel before the carpet goes in. So not a whole lot of final work done today, but a lot of little things that will add up to big things. So pretty excited where this is headed. Tomorrow I've got some BRZ content that I'll be doing for you guys. I'm going to be installing a turbo kit on a BRZ FRS chassis. That'll be coming up after this video. And then yeah, back to some RX-7 content. So if you are looking for parts for your car, feel free to hit up Throtl. We do sell the majority of the parts that I'm installing on this car on our platform, and the pricing is next to nobody's, so I think you'll find some good deals there. If you're interested, hit us up. If you don't know what parts to buy, we do have a concierge service where you can speak to one of our guys, and he'll recommend the product for your car. That way you're happy in the end. So at any rate, boys, that's the end of a long day. I'm gonna go play some ice hockey and drink some beer. I'll see you guys next time.